Greetings from Brooklyn. My name is Michael Swearingen. This video is about global warming and what we have to do to stop it. What I'm about to show you is not my opinion. It's based on the scientific data from climate scientists over the years. They are, after all, the experts in this area, so I think we should listen to them. I myself am not a climate scientist, but I am trained in science. I see my role as more of a translator to take what the climate scientists are saying and to put it in plain English so that anyone can understand. This video sets out in the next 10 minutes what is our task, what's our exact job that we have to do to prevent global warming. Here is a picture of Earth from space. It is so beautiful. It is our home for 7 billion humans. What I want to talk about is the atmosphere of Earth. We know it's about 80% nitrogen and about 20% oxygen, with a few other gases thrown in. Compared to the size of the Earth, the atmosphere is so thin we can't even see it in this picture. Here's a better picture, a sunrise from space. That blue line is the atmosphere, so thin and so fragile. All life on Earth needs that atmosphere. Here's the problem. This is a molecular model of carbon dioxide. It has 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms. Carbon dioxide has 2 properties that we need to think about. First, it traps heat. It is the main cause of global warming. Every time we burn fossil fuels, coal for electricity, oil to make gas for our cars, natural gas to cook with and heat our homes, they make carbon dioxide, which goes up into the atmosphere. Second, carbon dioxide lasts a long time in the atmosphere. Most of it 100 to 200 years, but some of it up to 1,000 years. So when we put carbon dioxide, also known as CO2, into our atmosphere, it will heat the Earth up to 1,000 years. They call this heating from carbon dioxide the greenhouse effect. The sun's energy heats the Earth. The warm Earth gives off its heat into space. But now with carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, some of that heat gets trapped, so the Earth heats up. This is global warming. I want to use a metaphor that makes this clearer. Let's say we have a bathtub that stands for our atmosphere. There's a faucet that lets things in and a couple of drains that lets things out. And we're going to imagine that the level is the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So do you get it? The atmosphere is like a bathtub and carbon dioxide is the water level. The level of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere sets the temperature for Earth. The higher the CO2 level, the higher the temperature. The lower the CO2 level, the lower the temperature. Up until about 200 years ago, the carbon dioxide level in the bathtub was about 2,200 billion tons of carbon dioxide. This set the Earth's temperature at a certain level. However, since the Industrial Revolution 200 years ago, we've been burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, for energy. We raised the carbon dioxide level in the bathtub from 2,200 to 3,000 billion tons of CO2. Carbon dioxide traps heat, so of course the planet is getting warmer. Today, because of burning fossil fuels, we have raised the temperature of Earth 0.8 degrees Celsius, almost 1 degree. That doesn't sound like much of anything, but you are aware of the increase of floods, droughts, and sea level rise that we're starting to see more of. We did this, and we did it by burning more coal, oil, and natural gas. But there's a little more to the story. Most of the planet's surface is covered with water, and water is very hard to heat up. So some of the trapped heat that should be warming our planet is warming our oceans very slowly. Eventually, the planet will heat an additional 0.8 degrees to a total of 1.6 degrees C. This heat is already here, and we can't do anything about it. Our planet will warm by 1.6 degrees even if we stopped burning all coal, oil, and natural gas today. So as you read about record droughts in the United States, or heat waves in Russia, or record rains in Pakistan or the Philippines, realize that much of this is due to the 0.8 degrees we have heated our planet. And it will get worse when the additional 0.8 degrees show up, which they will. Why am I focusing on these small temperature changes? Because climate scientists see 2 degrees C as the threshold to a new, very dangerous climate. They call it the difference between dangerous global warming and extremely dangerous global warming. I don't know about you, but I try to avoid anything that is extremely dangerous. So here's our task. We have less than 10 years to fix this problem. If we add another 500 billion tons of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, taking it from 3,000 to 3,500 billion tons, we've lost the fight to keep below 2 degrees C. And every year, we are adding around 18 billion tons of CO2 to the atmosphere. We must have a carbon budget, 500 billion tons, by the year 2050, and we must stay below it. What are the bottom line implications of this? Let's think of our carbon budget as a pile of poker chips, all 500 billion tons of carbon dioxide. How many poker chips? 50 to be exact. Each chip stands for 10 billion tons of CO2. When we're out of chips, Earth's temperature goes above 2 degrees C. At our current rate, we're using up 2 chips, about 20 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year. And the longer we wait to start reducing our carbon dioxide emissions, the steeper and more painful the CO2 cuts have to be. If we wait 10 years to start, we will have used up 20 of our 50 poker chips. Now we have less time and must make deeper cuts to keep from using up our chips. If we start next year, 2013, we need to cut our carbon dioxide pollution 6% a year, every year, until 2100 to be safe. This has never been done before. It is very difficult, but it is not impossible. However, if we wait until 2020 to start, 8 years, that's 16 poker chips out of our 50, we will have to cut carbon dioxide pollution 15% a year, every year, until 2100 to keep below 2 degrees C. This is impossible. This last slide is to help you remember the stakes we are talking about. This is a projection of what is in store for us if we don't change our ways by 2050. Notice the drought in the western United States, the devastation of the Amazon rainforest. The Sahara Desert will jump the Mediterranean and will now cover southern Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, Greece, and Turkey. Look at the drought in China. The biggest impact from global warming that we will see first is people running out of water and running out of food. So this is our task. We must reduce carbon dioxide by 6% a year, every year. We must pressure our governments to do this. We must stop subsidizing the fossil fuel industries. We must start subsidizing wind and solar industries. And we must make the personal choices that reflect this math. Below you'll see a link to a pop quiz that reviews what I just said to see what you learned. My name is Michael Swearingen. I'll see you on the next video.